Currently on a beach, and we're entirely by ourselves. And the anchorage is entirely by ourselves. And I'm having one of those, like, this is my life moments. And it's pretty freaking cool. After a few days in the marina, we were excited to get back out on the hook and headed to Georgetown, South Carolina. This town is super cute and friendly, and we can't wait to spend a little more time here in the spring. But the low temps and some forecasted high winds were forcing us south faster than we would have liked. We planned to wait out the coming storm in Charleston, but on the way, we stopped at Price Creek. We went ashore at Capers Island State Park. The beach was deserted, and we had some sunset entertainment courtesy of a pod of dolphins strand feeding on the sandbar. Strand feeding is a rare dolphin behavior, and South Carolina is one of the few places in the world you can see it. It was incredible. Charleston is one of my favorite cities in the US, and we wanted to take full advantage of our time there. We spent the first day walking around the city. We did 7 miles, and we ate so much great food. But back in the marina, we had a pretty serious incident.
We're staying at the Safe Harbor City Marina, which we thought would just be easier to get in and out of. We were only planning on spending one night, blah, blah, blah. They have what they call the mega dock, which is like almost 1,500 feet long. It's ridiculous. And it's a mega dock because it's made for mega yachts. And we pulled up today, and our Allberg has very low freeboard, and our stern is where it sits the lowest. And we were about 3/4 down the side of the dock. So a floating dock, it's a floating dock. Floating dock, like the side's about this big. Can you see this big? And we were like really close to the bottom of that. And we had booked a second night because tomorrow's supposed to be a gale, and we wanted to have some marina because anchorages around here aren't that great holding. We booked a second night before we saw the slip. Andy saw the slip and said, no way, if we get any sort of chop in here, there's a possibility that we're going to end up under the floating dock. So there's like a spot under before the water. We decided to cancel our second night. We booked a second night at the marina, the next one down, but we were like, this one's a little more conveniently located to Charleston itself. We already booked the night. We were going to lose our $70 for the night if we went down, which is already a big price to pay for us. We were like, we'll just wait it out. It was supposed to be flat calm tonight, and we didn't think we'd have any issues. One thing we did do in the dockhand set our lines up, we were the mast. There was like a piling, and the rigging was like lined up with the piling, which is never a good idea. Because even if you get like a little bit of boat wake and you heel over, and you hit your rigging on the piling, you can do some really serious damage. So Andy moved us, about 10 feet?
No,
forward?
like 4
5.
feet. 4 feet
4
back.
4 or 5 feet backwards so that they were offset a little bit better. We went into town today, did a whole bunch of like walking around, like a ton of walking. We went for like 7-mile walk. Aiden, even though he's like traumatized right now, is out cold because he's so tired from our walk. We came back. We were still full from lunch, so we hadn't even made dinner. There's like all of a sudden we start kind of rocking, and I can see down the dock, about 4 boats down, I can see the mast is like boom, boom, boom. And I screamed to Andy that it was going to get worse. And because originally we were just kind of trying to like even it out with our body weight, because our boat is so small, we literally can like sometimes counteract some of that with, because we were banging against already. So the biggest part of the wake hits us, and we're like corkscrewing in the slip. And all of our lines are actually going up to the dock. So the back end, the stern, is coming clean out of the water and then going under the water, like fully submerged. Actually, the lady on the boat across from us, which really was a mega yacht, said that she actually saw our rudder. That's how far we came out of the water. And we came onto the dock as well, because one of our fenders popped out, and Andy managed to get it stuck back in there, which was a scary, stupid thing to do, but probably saved the boat. Basically, like, we took a huge chunk out of their dock. Everything down here went flying. It's back together now, but I mean, we're usually set up to be like underway, so like if we rock and roll or heel, then things are pretty okay. So like for the most part, it was just like a few dishes and stuff went flying that weren't down because we were at a dock for the night. Aiden took off for the fee berth, which was very smart of you, buddy. That was the best thing you probably could have done. Have one bent stanchion, 2 bent stanchions?
One bent stanchion.
One bent stanchion. The chalk at the stern is so fucked. Like, it's like pulled out. I'm so surprised the tow rail is attached.
Didn't break, but it like bent the shit out of the chalk.
It bent it out of that chalk. We think that our there's like a pulley on our jib track. That's where the chunk of the dock came out. So we think that that's bent, but we can't really tell. We think that there was quite a bit of water that got into the exhaust system, but we did start the engine up pretty soon after, and it spit out quite a bit of water right away, but everything we think is
we essentially got
okay.
Pooped at the slip. Like, there was a wave that came over the stern.
It was insane.
We had water in the cockpit.
I've never been that afraid on a boat in my entire life, and we were in a slip. Like, that's frightening. So Andy busted his finger, but we think it's just because he already had busted that knuckle that it's as bad as that it hurts as bad as it is. We didn't even clean it up. There's like blood all through the cockpit of my toe. I think it's broken, but I took the tip of my ring toe on my left foot off. It's like barely hanging on, which I know is totally gross. I'm so sorry. And my nail, I think, got pulled back. It's kind of hard to tell because it's not exactly normal colors right now.
Yeah.
I'll probably be able to tell in a couple days if I'm going to lose the nail. But I'm pretty sure it's broken because it's throbbing like crazy, and I've been shivering uncontrollably. And it's been, almost 2 hours now? Still shivering because like the coming down from adrenaline like that, plus the pain in my toe. We had talked to the marina earlier in the day asking if they had anything on the inside because we were concerned about this, which we should have just eaten the $70 and left. Lesson learned. They were really kind. We're actually in a slip, like an owner slip, if you will, that was vacated all day today, or at least has been vacated for the last couple days, so they don't expect them to come back tonight. It's like 9 o'clock, so I would expect they're not coming back tonight until we can get going in the morning down to the other marina that we're planning on being at tomorrow for the gale. Honestly, like, I've never experienced.
It could have been much worse.
It could have been so much worse. If you hadn't moved the boat earlier, I think that we
would have smashed into that big aluminum
we
pole.
probably would have wrapped the rigging around that piling, and we would have
broken a spreader.
We would have broken a spreader. We would have broken probably that entire side of rigging, which may or may not have brought the mast down. But if I was a betting woman, I'd say bring the mast down. From what we can see, there's no structural damage down here. Everything bulkheads.
I wasn't down here, but was it like, did you hear crunching or?
No, it was just like there was so much shit flying everywhere, and I honestly, all I could hear was the dock against the hull.
It banged once against the wood.
It banged twice.
Twice against wood.
It banged twice against the dock, and that scared the shit out of me because I thought we were gonna put a hole inside of the boat. And then I was just like trying to calm myself down and be like, it's boat wake, it's boat wake. It's gonna be over. It's not like it's gonna be hours and hours of this like it would be in a storm. If you happen to own a motor yacht and you're near marinas, just especially this one, because man, just slow down. It does not take you that long to just like slow down to like 10 knots. We go 5.5 knots, period. As of yesterday, we've done 1,000 nautical miles at no more than like 6 knots. You can go no wake speed for a quarter mile. It's not going to hurt you.
After a couple of stressful days, we decided it was time for a little extra fun in Beaufort, South Carolina, and we decided to rent bikes and explore the city, and we took a break for a few days. Next time, we'll talk about whether we think going inside through Georgia is worth it.
Think I can do no hands? I'm not gonna try it.